You get 3 quotes for homeowners insurance. One is $800 a year, one is $1,200, one is $1,400. And the $800 quote looks like the obvious winner until you file a claim and you find out your dwelling limit was set $50,000 below what it may actually cost to rebuild your home, or your deductible is twice what you expected, or your personal property is covered at actual cash value instead of replacement cost, and your 5-year-old couch is now worth almost nothing on paper. The cheapest quote wins almost every time, and sometimes it becomes the most expensive mistake you've made in years. Comparing homeowners insurance quotes is not about finding the lowest number. It's about knowing what the numbers actually mean so you can make a real decision. And today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that, including how to use AI tools to help you break down your quotes before you ever sit down with an agent. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jim Eddington, and my agency helps individuals and businesses with their insurance every single day. We look at homeowners quotes from multiple carriers every single day. We see what people miss. We see what catches them off guard at claim time, and the pattern is almost always the same. Someone compared on price and never looked past the premium. When you're comparing homeowners insurance quotes, there are really only a handful of things that determine whether that policy is going to work for you when you need it. And most of them have nothing to do with the premium. The first one is your dwelling coverage limit. On a homeowner's policy, this is one of the main numbers that determines whether your carrier will pay enough to rebuild your home if it burns to the ground. That number needs to reflect what it would actually cost to rebuild, not what your home would sell for. Replacement cost and market value are 2 completely different numbers. If your dwelling limit is set too low, you're going to come up short on the biggest claim you'll ever file. While you're looking at that number, check the one right below it. Number 2 is other structures coverage. That's coverage B on your policy, and it covers anything on your property that's not attached to the house. Detached garage, shed, fence, pool house, guest house. Most policies default to 10% of your dwelling limit. On a $400,000 home, that's $40,000. If you have a detached garage with a workshop in it or a guest casita in the backyard, $40,000 might not come close. And most people never look at that number until they're filing a claim on a structure that costs twice what the policy will pay. Third is your deductible. A lower premium almost always means a higher deductible. And a higher deductible means more money out of your pocket before your insurance kicks in. Some of those cheaper quotes come in with a 2% wind or hail deductible instead of a flat dollar amount. On a $400,000 home, 2% is $8,000. That's a real number that you need to know before you agree to the policy. Fourth is liability. Most standard homeowners policies start at $100,000 in personal liability. That's not enough. If someone gets hurt on your property and the medical bills and legal costs run past your limit, you're paying the rest. We've covered this in detail on the channel, and in my opinion, if you don't have at least $300,000 in personal liability and an umbrella policy on top of that, you're exposed. Fifth is personal property and how it's covered. Replacement cost means the policy is designed to cover the cost to replace the item with a new one of like, kind, and quality. Actual cash value means they depreciate it. A couch you paid $5,000 5 years ago might be worth a couple $100 under actual cash value. Now multiply that across furniture, clothing, electronics, tools, kitchen items, and everything sitting in your garage. That's where actual cash value can quietly turn a big claim into a much smaller check. Sixth is what is excluded. Every policy has exclusions. Flood damage is excluded on a standard homeowner's policy. Earthquake is excluded. Water backup from a sewer or drain is typically excluded or severely limited unless you carry the endorsement. We just went over water backup coverage on the channel. These are not rare events. They're common claims that people assume are covered until they file. Comparing homeowners quotes on price alone is like comparing 2 trucks because they're both white. One might have 4-wheel drive and a tow package. The other might not. You'd never buy a truck without checking what's under the hood. But people do exactly that with insurance every day. Here's what I'd do if I were sitting at my kitchen table with 3 homeowners insurance quotes in front of me. I'd line them up and compare the same things across all 3. Dwelling coverage, other structures, deductible, liability limit, personal property valuation method, and exclusions or missing endorsements. If one quote has a lower premium, but also has a higher deductible, lower dwelling limit, and actual cash value on personal property, that's not a cheaper policy. That's a policy that costs less because it covers less. You didn't save money, you transferred risk back to yourself. And here's one more thing people miss. The declarations page tells you what you actually bought. We did a whole video on how to read a declarations page. It's on the channel. Once you have the policy in hand, your deck page is where you confirm that what you were quoted is what you are actually covered for. Here's something most people aren't doing yet when they shop homeowners insurance. If you have access to any of the free AI tools out there, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, any of them, you can upload your homeowners quotes and have it help you understand what you're looking at. I use AI every single day in my work. You don't need to be a tech person to do this. If you can save a PDF or take a photo of a document, you can do this. Here's how I would do it. Take your quote document, whether it's a PDF your agent emailed you or a proposal you downloaded from a carrier website. Upload it into the AI tool and ask it a few specific questions. First, what's my dwelling coverage limit? And does the quote include replacement cost, extended replacement cost, guaranteed replacement cost, or any limitations I should understand? Second, what is my other structures limit and what percentage of my dwelling coverage is it set at? If you have a detached garage, guest house, or any structure that's not attached to your home, that number matters. Third, what's my deductible and is it a flat dollar amount or a percentage? If it's a percentage, ask it to calculate the actual dollar amount based on your coverage limit. Fourth, what's my personal liability limit and does this policy include an umbrella or is that separate? Fifth, is my personal property covered at replacement cost or actual cash value? Sixth, what endorsements are included and what common coverages are missing? Ask it specifically about water backup, service line, ordinance or law, and roof or wind and hail deductible terms. Those are coverages that are often left off or limited unless someone adds them. And if you have more than one quote, you can upload all of them and ask the AI to compare them side by side on those same 6 points. It'll lay it out in a way that makes the differences obvious. Just be smart about privacy. If the quote has personal information, policy numbers, mortgage information, or anything you don't want stored in a third-party tool, remove or cover that information before you upload it. Now here's the important part. AI is a tool. It's not your agent. It can help you understand what's in a document, but it's not going to tell you whether the carrier behind the quote has a good claims process. It's not going to know your local building costs or that the carrier with the slightly higher premium has a reputation for paying claims fast and fairly. That's what an independent agent does. The AI helps you show up to that conversation informed. The agent helps you make the actual decision. When you sit down with an agent to review homeowners insurance quotes and you already know your dwelling limits, your deductible structure, and your endorsement gaps, pay attention to how they respond. A good agent is going to be glad you did the homework. They're going to walk you through the differences, explain the trade-offs, and help you figure out where to spend and where to save. If an agent seems annoyed or that you're asking detailed questions or weighs off your concerns and just points you to the cheapest option, that tells you something too. You want an agent who wants you to understand what you're buying. Most people think they're comparing homeowners insurance quotes on limits, deductibles, and price, but almost nobody thinks about the thing that matters most when something goes wrong. It's the carrier. Two policies can have identical limits, identical deductibles, identical endorsements, and still feel completely different in a claim because the carrier behind the policy affects how fast your claim gets handled, how the damage gets evaluated, how disagreements are resolved, and how quickly you get paid. I came from the collision repair industry and I had adjusters in my shop every single day for years. I saw how different carriers handled the same type of claim on the same type of vehicle. Some carriers were fair and efficient, others fought tooth and nail over every line item. The paperwork looked similar, but the experience was not. You can't see that on a quote comparison sheet, but your agent can tell you. An independent agent who works with multiple carriers sees the claim process from the inside. Ask them which carriers they trust when things go wrong. That answer is worth more than any spreadsheet. If you're comparing homeowners insurance quotes right now, Take what we covered today and line it up across every option you're looking at: dwelling limit, other structures, deductible, liability, personal property valuation, exclusions, and endorsements. Upload them to an AI tool and ask it the questions we walked through. Show up to the conversation with your agent already knowing what you're looking at. If you want help from an independent agent that shops multiple carriers and walks you through the differences, visit wpinsure.com and request a quote. There's a link in the description. We help families and business owners across Nevada, Arizona, Utah, and California, and we're happy to review what you have. Subscribe to the channel. We publish most business days, and what we cover is for individuals, families, and business owners who want to understand their insurance before they need it, not after. Thanks for watching.